So maybe Lazar, you can tell people about what just happened to you till I'm setting this up.
Yeah, when it's raining in Belgrade, everything stops here. So you cannot catch the public transport. You cannot. If you want to try call a taxi, it's impossible to get one. So I decided to go by walk, and when I came here, I was totally wet.
Yeah. So that happens from time to time when, we were living in Belgrade in Serbia, and it happens that today was a rainy day. Nobody expected it. You cannot even get a taxi because everybody's taking the taxi at the same time. So we were actually thinking about postponing the live stream, but Lazar managed in the last moment. Okay, so now I think we should have the live on YouTube. Can you guys confirm? Okay, so I think we're gonna have to continue without that. I think the problem was because I didn't put the settings like the last time, so that was the problem with YouTube. Anyways, let's go with well, I'm gonna upload the video later on YouTube. So now we're gonna just continue on Facebook. So yeah, what we wanted to show you today, we wanted to experiment with doing a little bit of live tutorials, and we wanted to show you how to combine both SubD modeling tools with Grasshopper modeling tools. So this is something that we're gonna try to do today live. If you have any problems with seeing us, please let us know so we can confirm that everything is everything is working well. So first thing, we're gonna talk about that story. I remember, Lazar, when you were when we were in Poland, and you had that's when you really wanted to learn Grasshopper, and that's when you really wanted to improve the knowledge.
That's when I start getting a little bit like more than basic knowledge in Grasshopper, and then I was able to produce some the definition, probably not I would say intermediate level, and I use that knowledge to set some design for the scheme proposals. And you sit next to me and you experience my frustration every day.
It was like the thing is that how we used to learn Grasshopper then, it was more of, okay, let's find an example in real life, and let's see if this example can be replicated in Grasshopper, or what are the ways that we can replicate it, and how are we gonna go from step 0 to step 10. So I remember then we were exploring different buildings, different conceptual designs, whatever we could see. So and I think actually that's when you were really starting to explode in terms of the knowledge base that you gathered, and I think that was the pivotal moment for you when you because you were all in math, and you liked math before, so it was like a fusion for you.
Yeah, that was the moment when I get the most when the knowledge in Grasshopper expand the most, I would say. When you start doing some definition by yourself and start getting how some components work to each other, and how you can connect, and how you can make some design in a different way, on many ways. That's the moment when you start
when you start to connect the initial basic points. Yeah. Okay, so I actually remember that your girlfriend said once that you are so frustrated and nervous all the time because you cannot solve something.
Yeah, because after work, when I went home, I keep trying to learn Grasshopper, and for example, she watched some movies and I watched some
Work on
tutorials
Grasshopper.
and tried to replicate some design, some lamp or some
Yeah.
design scheme or something like that.
Yeah, it's like Lazar, come to watch the movie. No, I'm fine. Like believe me.
Yeah, she was really angry because I was 100% into Grasshopper.
Okay, so yeah, we wanted to try today to do something experimental, and that's because we're gonna do these lives almost every week now. So today I wanted to show you like what we're gonna try to model, and please forgive us if we made a mistake along the way, because this is like the real life modeling that you're gonna see. So it's not gonna be anything super extreme, because I don't want to mess something up and then you guys will be like, ah, that's not correct. So we're gonna keep it fairly simple. The project that we're gonna do is called, let me just share this with you. The project is called Guanglian Guanglian, you know better. Cloud Center. The architect, please be my guest. Who is the architect?
Feng Muchen.
No.
And
The architect, Beijing.
yeah.
Feng Mushen. Okay,
Yeah,
Feng
Feng
Mushen
Mushen.
Space Design.
Yeah.
Okay, location.
Trust
Location. Hebei.
there's
Is Hebei.
Shangyang, North
Shangyang.
Road,
Okay, Shangyang, China.
Jingshu district.
Jingshu district. Okay, so
Okay.
let's see what this is. This is like the lobby of office building, and I found it quite interesting to see this kind of example in the interior, and you can see here the shape of the actual geometry that is a little bit amorphic, and we have
Somebody said here the video is not smooth, almost no video is visible.
Okay, so the streaming from this side is fine. So it's probably going to be a problem with YouTube. And
How about the Facebook?
yeah, I think Facebook is fine. Okay, guys. So for those of you who are on YouTube, I made a mistake with the settings, so that's why the stream on YouTube is a little bit off. So we're gonna upload the stream later on our channel. So if you can, please join us on Facebook group. That's where everything seems to work fine. So yeah, we're gonna model this interior. We're not gonna model this exactly, but something of some similar shape, and then we're gonna do this in SubD tools, and then Lazar is gonna show you how to create a parametric algorithm for the division of the surfaces like shown here. So let's start. So I'm gonna switch to desktop only here, and the first thing that we want to do, we want to go to the top view, and yeah, keep in mind that this is Rhino work in progress version, which is Rhino 7. So in order to access SubD tools, you need to have a Rhino 7 or Rhino work in progress version. So you need to have a license for Rhino 6 to be able to download that version. Okay, so first we're gonna go to the top, and we're gonna go to the SubD, and here we're gonna choose create SubD plane, and we're gonna keep let's say 5 X count and 5 Y count. And once we create this square, you will see that now we get SubD plane, which has its own surfaces, its own vertices. So cool thing here is that you can select every single vertex. If you hold Control and Shift and you click on the point, you can select single point, and you can move this just like you see here. And the cool thing about it is that you even have, when you press Tab, you have so-called crunchy mode, and this is just a terminology that McNeil are using, but we can call it low poly mode or whatever works fine for you. So if you press Tab one more time, you will get the smooth transition. And if you remember, when you look at this, that's exactly how our geometry is supposed to look like. So now I'm just simply gonna give you a couple of more pointers on how you can manipulate SubD geometry. So cool thing is that you can select the whole edge. If you double click on one edge, you hold Control Shift and double click, you will be able to select one edge, and then you can bring the whole thing up just like this. On the other side, you can also do this with SubD surfaces. If you double click like this, for example, if you go from here to here and double click inside, it will select the whole row of SubD surfaces. So that's very handy to know, because sometimes you want a specific selection. So in our case, we simply need to create to extrude this SubD plane here. So we can either do the extrusion that looks something like this, and then you can see how, if you go to low poly, how this looks like. And if you want to have a better transition, what you can do, you can select these 4 vertices, and you can simply come here to the scaling tool, and you can hold Shift and create something like this, and then maybe bring it up a little bit. And this will give you even nicer transition for the whole element. And of course, if you want, you can do the same thing in this mode, this smooth mode, so you don't need to go all the time in the low poly mode. You can do the same thing here. So if you can also manipulate this on your own, you can scale it and do whatever, but we're gonna keep it now we're gonna keep it symmetrical. So I'm gonna create something that seems more like, for example, let's say this guy here. So maybe I would scale it in a little bit. And maybe I can scale it also from here. We can scale these in as well. And maybe from this side. So we get a more sharp corner. So something like this. And if you have this, if you want this transition to go all around, what you can do, you can select, for example, these edges here, and you can scale them even more, bring them more up. So this really seems like a good transition. And one more time, we're gonna do the same thing here, maybe with these guys as well. So once we have them, we can just bring them up a little bit. And now we'll have that transition just like in the example. So that's one thing. And now, what if we want, for example, to convert this shape? What do we do? First thing that you can do, you can convert the SubD object to NURB surface. So to do that, you just need to type, let's first copy it over. So you just need to type 2 NURBs, enter. Let's go again. Delete object input, yes. And now you can see that we have poly surface with multiple surfaces. However, if we want to have the clean surface in Grasshopper, we need to rebuild this guy. So first I'm gonna go to the top and I'm gonna create one rectangle here. Let's go until, yeah, let's go from here first. Scale 1D. Now I'm gonna scale it in like this. Bring it in the middle. Okay. And I'm simply going to do trim, and we're gonna get this. And now we don't need this anymore. And now what we need to do, we need to rebuild this surface. We can do this in multiple ways. Maybe the easiest one would be to create, for example, the contours. So let's do contour. This will be the object. Base point would be here. This would be the other one. Distance between contours, let's keep it 1. And I have these contours on this side. And you want to do the same thing on the other side. So I'm gonna do the same command again. I'm gonna keep this point and this point, and there you go. Last thing that we want to do, you want to say duplicate border, and you can delete the SubD, and this is what you're left with. And now you just need to do simple patch. You can keep the default, and now you would get the clean surface that we're gonna continue to work on in Grasshopper. There it is. Okay, so now, just a second. Okay, so now we're gonna transition. Lazar's gonna hop in and he's gonna continue from here.
Yeah. All right, as we created a surface, now we can import it in Grasshopper. And I'm going to run Grasshopper. All right. First, we're going to use surface container in order to reference the surface from Rhino into Grasshopper. All right. I'm going to hide all of this. And as we can see in Rhino viewport, we reference this surface inside Grasshopper, and now we are going to divide it in order to get the points. All right, let's make a stronger density from 0 to 100, and I'm going to copy this slider because we need to divide the surface into along U and along a V direction. And we can see here the division points. And right now we need to, the next step is to connect these lines, these points, and to create the lines along both directions, along U and along Y. I'm going to import interpolate curve and connect point with the vertices. Let me turn this off, and this guy as well. And we have the we created the curves along one direction, but also we need curves in another direction. Only we need to do is to flip matrix. And let me show you here what we did. Using param viewer, we can check the data tree inside the component. You can see there is 26 branches, and each branch contains 32 items. But once we flip the matrix, we have 32 branches and 26 items inside each branch. I'm going to copy this guy and create the curves along another direction. All right. And the next thing, I want to remove the first and the last items inside each list. So here, we want to remove first and last, but first let me shift the paths in order to have, because right now you can see the tree looks like 26 branches and one item inside each branch, but we want to have one branch and 27 items. We can do by offset, and right now we have a branch 0, semicolon 0 and 26 items. And we are going to do the same thing here. Once we have all items inside one list, we can remove first and the last item using call index. And for the indices, we are going to, because we want to remove first and last, we are going to use merge component. And into input data 1, we are going to import 0. And for the data 2, we are going to import 25 here, and here 31. You can use the sliders from here. Let me check here. Because here I connect the text from the panel, this because here is not visible the geometry in the Rhino viewport, because text cannot be visible right now. So we need to connect the data from this component. And right now we see that the highlighted components are only the middle ones. So it's not highlighted the first and the last one. And the same thing we are going to do for the curves in another direction. But here for the data 2, we will import 31.
We should move the video on the left side. Just give me a second. Because you can see that
Okay.
the video is... Okay, let's go now.
Okay, now it's better. And using call index, we discard the index 0 and the index 31. Sorry. I'm going to turn off this. And now we will extrude each of these guys. One we're going to extrude along X direction, and another we will extrude along Y direction using vector Y. And the same amplitude we will use for both of these lists. Amplitude. Vector. Right. You don't need this. All right. And the extrusion will be for another direction along Y. And we can see in the Rhino viewport that these lines became surfaces. And now we're going to extrude them along Z direction. Again, we'll use extrude and the same factor of for the extrusion. All right. And let me check how it's going to look. All right.
Awesome.
Maybe this should be a little bit smaller. Let's say 1.5.
Cool.
And it's quite similar. Let me open the reference image. Yeah. I think we got the quite similar result.
Yeah. Just show them how to bake it.
Yeah.
And then continue.
Yeah, and the last thing we can bake this. We also consider to create these notches, but because this tutorial will last maybe longer, then we decided to skip this for now.
Cool. Cool.
And we create this waffle structure.
All right. Cool.
All right.
Let's switch again.
All right.
Let's continue. So just a second. Okay, so you saw how we can easily like in just what's 20 minutes or less create this kind of effect, which is similar to this geometry, and it's all about combining the tools that you already have in Rhino and using them the right way, the proper way. If you want to go a step further, we would probably create this like places where they would intersect, and then you can send this to the laser cutter, and in like 30 minutes you're done. So this is really the true power of parametric modeling and also organic modeling with Rhino. So we wanted to show you this, and we wanted also to talk a little bit about the masterclass that is coming up. So I wanted to share a little bit about the masterclass. Here is you'll be able here to see on the page a little bit more information about the masterclass. So this masterclass is going to include it's especially going to be a great resource for architects. So if you're an architect, this is the training that will be specifically for you. So we all know that Rhino is used in many industries, but there's a very small amount of tutorials online showing you how to use it for architectural purposes, for architectural projects, how to use it effectively. And here with this masterclass, we just want to share this knowledge. We're giving this away for free. So what this masterclass is, it's going to be a collection of the most important basic stuff that you want if you want to learn Rhino from scratch, and also Grasshopper from scratch, and SubD modeling tools, organic modeling from scratch. So this is something that if you're completely new to this, this is going to help you tremendously to improve your skills. So I just want to go through like this is a page that you can go to. You can just this link will be down in the description of the video. It's howtorhino.com/masterclass, and on this page you can register for the masterclass, and you will be notified when the masterclass starts. The first training will be on March 19th. That's going to be the first training, and this is going to be the video explaining how to start, what is the interface of Rhino, how to approach learning Rhino in an organized way, and how to have very specific tutorials that are exactly to the point and to be as efficient as possible. The training 2 is going to be on March 23rd. We're going to dive deep in Grasshopper here, from the very basics to the more advanced stuff, and this is going to be the second training in the series. We're going to talk about a beginner-friendly approach on how to learn actually Grasshopper and how to start creating your algorithms, and the most importantly, how to understand the logic behind Grasshopper. Training number 3 is going to go on March 25th, and this is partially for you guys who want to create those organic structures, organic modeling, and also these we're going to explore in much more depth SubD tools for Rhino 7, and we're going to go and show you how to really have a very good approach when you start a new project, how to create all this complex geometry from scratch, and how to combine it with parametric modeling with Grasshopper. In the training number 4 on March 27th, this is going to be a little bit of a surprise. So if you guys watch these 3, I'm sure you're going to watch the number 4. So pay attention to that one. And then just as a reminder, in between those trainings, we're going to be having a couple of live sessions similar to this one, where we're going to talk a little bit about the material that we went through in these trainings and answer your questions. And also after 27th, we're gonna have 2 webinars where we're gonna go and explain pretty much all of this, but in a live setting where we go similar to what we did today, but it's gonna be much longer. It's gonna and it's gonna show you this surprise that we prepared for you. So so that would be regarding the masterclass. So if you're interested in this, we're giving away this training for free. So just go to the link below the video, howtorhino.com/masterclass, and register. So you save your place, and then afterwards we're gonna you're gonna get all the details and all the information how to access the masterclass in the email. And this is also the confirmation page that you will see, which explains that what are your steps. So what you need to do, you need to first find that email from us. You need to put it to the primary so you don't lose it along the way. To add our email to the contacts list, and then also you can push this to your messenger, so you get reminded on your messenger when when the training is available, so you don't miss it. And the last thing, you can click here and add this event to your Google Calendar, so that you for sure know the date when it's gonna be live. So that would be regarding the masterclass. These are the dates, and if you guys have any kind of questions or if regarding the masterclass, or if you have any doubts or something is not clear, feel free to post them in the comment section, and we'll get back to you as soon as we see the comment. Do we have any kind of comments right now or no?
We have, but just regarding the
Okay, sure. So once again, we apologize today because the stream wasn't going well on YouTube. It was because of the settings that I did. So apologies for that, but thank you for staying until the end. Thank you for listening. Hope that you guys liked the live tutorial that we did. Yeah, if you have any kind of questions for us, let us know, and we'll see you. When is the next time? I think we're gonna do next week. Yeah. Next week, starting Monday, Tuesday, we're gonna be live. I think first on Instagram, then we're gonna do one more of these during that week. So yeah, thanks.
We will upload the script for you who ask. We will upload the script.
Yeah, somebody's asking, can we upload the file? Yeah, we'll upload the file, don't worry. All right, so once again, thank you for staying with us. Let us know what you think, if you like this kind of live training, and we'll see you in the next one.
Thank you for listening. See you guys.
Bye bye.